Today, we invite you to wander back through the centuries, to the heart of a medieval castle, and step gently into the life of its kitchen. Here, amidst the stone walls and flickering shadows, the daily rhythm unfolds with an unhurried grace. This is the domain of the castle cook, where the essence of preparation and the dance of repetition wove the fabric of each day. Within these ancient spaces, the cook's world was one of quiet diligence. The kitchen, often expansive and bustling, was a place where order and organization reigned supreme. It was not the mythical feast that defined this environment, but rather the unseen, meticulous choreography that sustained the castle's inhabitants. Each day began in the stillness before dawn, and each task was a thread in the intricate tapestry of castle life. As you listen, allow your mind to wander through this serene landscape, to the gentle rhythm of a time long past. We invite you to share where you find yourself in this moment, the time, the place, as you join us on this journey. Should the stories we share bring you calm and curiosity, consider subscribing to The Wandering Mind. Here, in this tranquil space, let the echoes of history lull you into a peaceful exploration. In the intricate web of medieval life, the castle stood as a symbol of power and protection. Within its thick stone walls, a complex hierarchy dictated the daily rhythms of existence. At the heart of this social structure, far from the noise of clashing swords and courtly intrigue, lay the humble but essential role of the cook. This individual, often overlooked in grand historical narratives, held a position of quiet significance, nestled somewhere between the serfs who toiled the fields and the nobility who ruled from lofty chambers. The cook's world was one of silent authority and understated influence. Answering directly to the steward, the cook occupied a unique position within the household. The steward himself was a figure of considerable stature, overseeing the smooth operation of the entire castle. He was the bridge between the lord of the manor and those who worked to maintain it. To the steward, the cook was both a trusted subordinate and a vital collaborator. The meals prepared in the depths of the kitchen had to reflect the lord's status, demonstrating wealth and hospitality to visiting guests and dignitaries. In this task, the cook was a craftsman and a strategist, ensuring that each dish served was not only nourishing, but also a testament to the castle's ability to provide. The cook's responsibilities extended beyond the preparation of food. They were also a manager, overseeing a small team of assistants who helped with the innumerable tasks required to keep the kitchen running smoothly. These assistants might include young apprentices eager to learn the trade, and older, more experienced hands who knew the rhythms of the kitchen as intimately as the back of their own hands. The cook directed this team with a firm but gentle hand, ensuring that each person knew their role and understood the importance of their contributions to the larger whole. In the medieval hierarchy, the cook was a figure of quiet dignity. They did not wield the power of a knight or the wealth of a lord, but their role was indispensable. The sustenance they provided allowed the rest of the castle's inhabitants to fulfill their own duties. The lord depended on the cook to ensure that his table was always a reflection of his wealth and power, while the castle's workers relied on the cook for the meals that fueled their long hours of labor. The relationship between the cook and the steward was one of mutual respect. The steward trusted the cook to manage the kitchen effectively, while the cook relied on the steward for the supplies and resources needed to perform their duties. This interdependence was a microcosm of the larger medieval society, where each person's role was interconnected with others, creating a delicate balance that sustained the community. At the top of this social pyramid resided the lord of the castle. While the cook rarely interacted directly with the lord, the fruits of their labor were a constant presence at the lord's table. The cook's success was measured not only by the satisfaction of the lord and his guests, but also by the seamless operation of the kitchen under their watchful eye. The ability to manage resources, orchestrate complex meal preparations, and maintain the smooth running of the kitchen marked the cook as an individual of considerable skill and resourcefulness. Yet, for all the importance of their role, the cook's position was one of quiet humility. They did not seek recognition or accolades. Instead, they found satisfaction in the knowledge that their work was essential to the life of the castle. As the day unfolded, the cook worked tirelessly alongside their assistants, each task contributing to the greater whole. From the crackling fires of the early morning to the soft glow of the evening hearth, the cook's life was one of rhythm and routine, punctuated by the gentle choreography of the kitchen. The castle's hierarchy was a tapestry of roles and responsibilities, each thread interwoven with the others to create a resilient whole. Within this tapestry, the cook was a steady, enduring presence, a figure of quiet competence and unwavering dedication. Their work, though often unnoticed by those outside the kitchen, was a cornerstone of the castle's daily life. In the gentle embrace of this medieval world, the cook's role was a testament to the enduring power of skill and service, a reminder that even the most seemingly modest positions held their own quiet dignity and essential significance. The kitchen of a medieval castle is a world unto itself, a space defined by both its function and its atmosphere. Within its stone walls, a sense of purpose pervades, shaped by the rhythm of daily tasks and the steady presence of heat. The large hearths are the centerpieces, their fires essential for cooking, warmth, and light. These hearths, often grand in scale, dominate the room, their flames flickering softly, casting long shadows that dance across smoke-darkened beams. The air within the kitchen is thick with the scent of wood smoke, a reminder of countless hours spent tending to the flames. Over time, the beams above have absorbed this smoke, darkening to a rich, deep hue that speaks of years of service. This darkened timber provides a comforting backdrop, a constant presence that witnesses the daily cycle of preparation and cooking. Underfoot, the floors are laid with stone, cool to the touch and worn smooth by the passage of countless feet. These stones are practical in their simplicity, easy to clean and capable of withstanding the demands of a working kitchen. They bear the marks of use, subtle depressions where feet have trodden time and again, echoes of the many who have paced these floors before. Heat is a constant companion in this space, radiating from the hearths and enveloping the room in a gentle warmth. This heat is both a tool and a challenge, essential for the work at hand yet requiring careful management. It is felt in the rosy glow of cheeks and the sheen of perspiration on those who work here. The kitchen is alive with this warmth, a living entity that breathes through its fires. The walls are often lined with shelves, each holding an array of tools and ingredients necessary for the day's work. Copper pots and pans hang in orderly rows, their surfaces reflecting the glow of the firelight. These vessels are well used, their surfaces bearing the marks of countless meals prepared. Wooden spoons, ladles, and knives are within easy reach, each handle worn smooth by frequent use. As the day progresses, the kitchen space becomes a hub of activity. The sounds of chopping, stirring, and the crackling of the hearth coalesce into a symphony of productivity. Yet, despite the bustle, there is a rhythm to it all, a carefully orchestrated dance that sees each task completed in its time. The sound of bubbling pots and the sizzle of meat on the fire blend with the low murmur of voices, creating a melody that fills the air. Above, the high ceiling allows smoke to rise, drawn away through vents or chimneys, though not without leaving its mark. The air is never entirely clear, carrying with it the traces of smoke and the aroma of cooking. This mingling of scents is as much a part of the kitchen as the stones and beams, a fragrant tapestry that changes with each meal prepared. The kitchen is a place of both constancy and change. While the physical space remains largely the same, the activities within it shift with the seasons and the needs of the household. Ingredients come and go, reflecting the time of year and the supplies available. The kitchen adapts, its purpose unwavering, yet its daily tasks ever evolving. In the quieter moments, when the fires are banked and the day's work is not yet begun, the kitchen holds a different kind of silence. It is a pause, a gentle breath before the activity resumes. The hearths stand ready, the tools are in their places, and the stones underfoot are cool and still. This is a space that waits, patient and enduring, for the cycle to begin anew. Through it all, the kitchen remains a vital heart of the castle, a place where nourishment is created, where the demands of daily life are met with skill and dedication. Its very design speaks to its purpose, a place of warmth, utility, and quiet resilience. Here, within these walls, the simple act of cooking becomes a cornerstone of castle life, a steady rhythm that supports and sustains. In the stillness of the pre-dawn hours, when the castle rests beneath a blanket of quiet anticipation, the cook begins their day. The world outside remains hushed, a soft darkness wrapping the stone walls in a gentle embrace. Within the kitchen, the air is cool and silent, except for the faint memory of yesterday's fires. It is here, in this tranquil space, that the cook finds their purpose, ready to breathe life back into the hearth. With careful hands, the cook rekindles last night's embers, coaxing them to wakefulness. The process is deliberate, unhurried, a quiet ritual that connects them to countless mornings past. Ashes are swept aside, revealing the glowing promise of warmth beneath. Slowly, methodically, small pieces of kindling are laid, each piece chosen to catch the first flickers of flame. The cook watches patiently, allowing the fire to grow at its own pace, feeding it with just enough air to encourage its gentle roar. As the flames take hold, the kitchen begins to transform. Shadows dance across the stone walls, the flickering light casting long, playful shapes. The warmth spreads, chasing away the night's chill, enveloping the space in a comforting glow. It is a small triumph, this act of rekindling, setting the stage for the day's work. The fire is now a companion, its steady crackle, a reassuring presence in the quiet kitchen. With the hearth alive again, attention turns to the larger task of preparing for the day ahead. The cook moves with purpose, gathering tools and ingredients as the fire settles into a steady burn. Copper pots and iron pans are inspected, their surfaces reflecting the growing light. Each item is placed with care, ready to be called upon as the demands of the household unfold. The kitchen, once quiet, now hums with the potential of the day to come. Although unseen by the rest of the household, this early morning routine is crucial. It is the foundation upon which the entire day is built, a testament to the importance of preparation and forethought. The cook understands this well, their actions honed by years of practice, each movement efficient yet mindful. There is a rhythm here, a gentle cadence that guides the hands and mind, instilling a sense of calm before the flurry of activity to follow. Beyond the walls of the kitchen, the castle remains in slumber, unaware of the quiet industry taking place. The cook takes a moment to pause, to breathe in the scent of wood smoke and morning air. It is a rare moment of stillness, a chance to reflect on the tasks ahead, to find balance amidst the demands of the day. The fire, now fully awake, provides a gentle reminder of the work yet to come, its warmth a steadying presence in the gathering light. As the first hint of dawn touches the horizon, the cook is well into their routine. The kitchen, warmed by the fire's embrace, is ready to receive the day's challenges. The cook moves with a quiet determination, their actions guided by a deep understanding of what is required. Each step is deliberate, each task completed with care, a reflection of the discipline and dedication that defines their role within the castle. The cook's early start ensures that when the household stirs, all is in readiness. Fires burn brightly, pots simmer gently, and the promise of sustenance fills the air. It is a seamless transition from night to day, a testament to the unseen work that begins long before the first footsteps echo through the corridors. The cook remains a silent presence, their efforts woven into the fabric of castle life, one moment blending into the next. In these early hours, time seems to stretch, each minute a gift of solitude and purpose. The cook is not alone in their routine, rather, they are accompanied by the rhythm of the castle itself, a living entity that awakens slowly, each stone and beam resonating with the history of those who have come before. It is a connection that spans generations, a reminder of the enduring traditions that shape the life of the castle. As the morning light begins to filter through the high windows, painting the kitchen in soft hues, the cook continues their work, each task a step towards the day's unfolding. There is no rush, no urgency, only a steady progression that ensures all will be ready when the household rises. The fire's warmth spreads, filling the room with comfort and possibility, a testament to the simple power of preparation and care. In this quiet space, the cook finds a sense of peace, their role not merely one of labor, but of stewardship and service. The kitchen is a sanctuary, the heart of the castle, and the cook its dedicated custodian. Each morning, as the fire is rekindled and the day unfurls, the cook plays their part in the ongoing story of the castle, a story written in the language of flame and shadow, of quiet dedication and timeless routine. As the morning deepens, the castle begins to stir, the once silent corridors now filled with the soft sounds of life returning. The cook's work is largely unseen, yet its impact is felt throughout the day, a testament to the quiet strength of those who labor before dawn. The fire, now a steady companion, provides the warmth and light that sustains the household, a small yet vital piece of the intricate tapestry that is life within the castle walls. In the early hours of the morning, before the sun has fully cast its light upon the stone courtyards, the castle cook begins a routine that is as familiar as the stones beneath their feet. The world is hushed, the air crisp with the promise of a new day, and the task of fetching water is one of the first duties to be undertaken. The castle well, often situated within the central courtyard, is a place where the rhythm of daily life quietly begins. The cook and their assistants approach the well methodically, their steps steady on the cobbled path. Drawing water is an exercise in patience, as the wooden bucket makes its descent into the cool depths below. The sound of water gently sloshing fills the air as the bucket is drawn up, each drop a reminder of the essential role water plays in the kitchen's operations. Once the water is secured, attention turns to kindling. The sound of wood being split echoes softly, a rhythmic punctuation to the morning's tasks. Splitting kindling requires a practiced hand, for each piece must be the right size to catch flame and sustain it. The woodpile, carefully gathered and stored, represents foresight and planning, ensuring that the fires will burn steadily throughout the day. As the morning light begins to creep into the courtyard, the gentle crack of wood being rendered into manageable pieces becomes part of the day's symphony. Simultaneously, the organization of ingredients begins within the storerooms. Here, the cook surveys what is available, each item carefully considered in the context of the day's meals. The storerooms, cool and shadowed, hold a variety of provisions: sacks of grain, barrels of salted fish, and an assortment of dried herbs. The cook quietly assesses these supplies, noting what is plentiful and what must be used sparingly. In this space, the cook's knowledge of the seasons and the castle's stores is paramount. There is a quiet understanding that each ingredient has its place and time, whether it is a freshly milled flour or a root vegetable stored from the previous harvest. The art of preparation lies in these thoughtful considerations, ensuring that nothing is wasted and that each meal reflects the resources at hand. As the morning progresses, the cook's assistants contribute to the preparation. They move with a steady purpose, their tasks unfolding with practiced ease. The slicing of vegetables, the grinding of spices, and the careful measuring of grains create a rhythm of activity, each movement contributing to the greater whole of the day's meals. The quiet focus within the storeroom is palpable, a testament to the harmony achieved through careful planning and execution. In the courtyard, the first hints of sunlight glint off the stone walls, casting long shadows that gradually retreat as the sun rises. The cook takes a moment to observe this transition, aware of the passage of time and the tasks that lie ahead. The water, the wood, and the ingredients are now in place, each element poised to play its part in the unfolding day. This morning ritual, though often unseen by the castle's inhabitants, forms the foundation upon which the rest of the day's work is built. It is a time of quiet preparation, where each task is a thread in the larger tapestry of castle life. The cook knows that these early hours, filled with the simple acts of gathering and preparing, are crucial to the smooth operation of the kitchen and the satisfaction of those who will partake in the meals to come. As the sun continues its ascent, the courtyard becomes a place of gentle activity, the earlier solitude giving way to the quiet hum of the castle awakening. The cook, having completed the morning's preparations, takes a moment to reflect on the work accomplished. The water is ready, the wood is stacked, and the ingredients are organized, each component poised for the day's culinary endeavors. In this moment of stillness, there is a profound sense of connection to the cycles of nature and the rhythms of medieval life. The tasks of fetching water, splitting kindling, and organizing ingredients may seem simple, yet they are integral to the sustenance of the castle's inhabitants. Each action, performed with care and attention, contributes to the ongoing balance of life within the castle walls. Thus, as daylight fills the courtyard and the castle begins to stir, the cook's preparations stand as a testament to the quiet diligence required to maintain the flow of daily life. It is a reminder that, in the slow and steady march of time, even the most routine tasks hold a significance that extends beyond their immediate purpose, weaving together the intricate fabric of existence within the castle's domain. In the quiet corridors of a medieval castle, the day unfurls with the gentle certainty of routine. The cook, at the heart of this rhythm, begins to consider the meals that will sustain the household. In this era, a day's sustenance is not merely a matter of taste, but a reflection of the changing seasons and the supplies at hand. The planning of meals is a careful orchestration of resources, time, and tradition. The morning finds its voice in simplicity. In the soft light of dawn, the castle inhabitants break their fast with modest fare. The cook considers what is available, perhaps the last of the previous day's bread or a simple porridge from stored grains. This morning meal is designed to fortify but not indulge, a prelude to the more substantial offerings later in the day. As the cook surveys the pantry, choices must be made with a keen eye on the season and the storeroom's contents. The winter months, when fresh produce is scarce, rely heavily on preserved goods, while summer offers a bounty of fresh ingredients. Midday approaches with its own demands. The heart of the day is marked by the preparation of pottage, a dish that embodies the essence of medieval sustenance. It is a nourishing stew of grains, vegetables, and occasionally meat, simmered slowly to meld flavors together. The cook must decide which ingredients will flavor today's pot, drawing from the garden's yield or the storeroom's reserves. In times of plenty, the pottage might be enriched with fresh herbs or tender greens, while leaner times might see it stretched with extra barley or root vegetables. The process is one of gentle alchemy, transforming humble components into a dish that speaks of comfort and continuity. As the day progresses, the evening meal demands a different level of preparation. The evening feast, especially when guests are present, is an opportunity to display the household's resources and the cook's skill. Here, the plan must be more elaborate, with multiple dishes carefully timed and coordinated. The cook considers the supplies, perhaps a roast if meat is plentiful, or a selection of fish if the local waters have been generous. The use of spices, those precious imports, is weighed with care, their presence more a testament to the lord's status than necessity. Each dish must be balanced, flavors harmonious, and presentation considered, even in the subdued lighting of the great hall. Throughout this planning, the cook is guided by the knowledge of what is seasonally appropriate and what the storeroom can offer. Spring brings fresh greens and the first fruits, while autumn is a time of harvested abundance. The cycle of the year is mirrored in the meals prepared, a silent testament to the passage of time and the rhythms of the natural world. In this way, the cook's work is both a reflection and a part of the larger ecological balance, a dance between the immediate needs of the household and the broader patterns of growth and harvest. The act of planning these meals is a quiet art, one that requires foresight and adaptability. Changes in weather or unexpected guests might call for quick adjustments, requiring the cook to think on their feet and draw on their experience. Yet, amidst these challenges, there is also a constancy, a daily reaffirmation of the cook's role within the castle, a provider and caretaker through the simple act of preparing food. As the plans take shape, the cook works not in isolation, but as a part of the castle's larger community. Assistants may be called upon to fetch ingredients or tend to the fires, each person contributing to the day's culinary tapestry. Together, they form a team bound by the shared goal of sustenance, their efforts intertwined with the stones and stories of the castle itself. In this quiet, purposeful planning, there is a sense of continuity. Each day's meals echo the ones that came before and anticipate those yet to come, a seamless thread woven through the fabric of castle life. The cook, at the center of this web, moves with the surety of one who understands both the importance of their task and its place within the greater whole. And so, as the day unfolds, the plan is set into motion. The kitchen fills with the sounds and scents of preparation, a symphony of activity guided by the cook's steady hand. In this space, time flows gently, marked by the turning of a spoon or the slicing of an onion. It is a rhythm as old as the castle itself, a testament to the enduring nature of nourishment and the quiet care of those who provide it. In the quiet heart of the medieval castle, the kitchen stands as a realm of its own, where bread is a staple, an everyday necessity that silently underscores the rhythm of life. The role of the cook here is not just a matter of culinary skill, but one of patience and quiet understanding of time and transformation. The act of bread-making begins with the simple, tactile task of kneading dough, a process that connects the cook to centuries of tradition. Flour, water, and a pinch of salt come together under strong hands, gradually transforming into a pliable, living mass. The slow, repetitive motions of kneading encourage the development of gluten, that invisible network within the dough, giving it the strength to rise and hold shape. As the dough rests and rises, another presence within the kitchen comes into focus, the communal oven. Large and often shared amongst the castle's inhabitants, these ovens are carefully tended, their fires stoked to reach the necessary warmth. The communal oven serves not just as a baking tool, but as a focal point of activity and communal interaction. It is here that the cook must gauge the heat with an experienced eye, knowing that a consistent temperature is essential for the bread to bake evenly. The oven is a demanding entity, requiring attention and respect, for bread baked at too high a temperature will crust too quickly, while a cooler oven yields a dense, undercooked loaf. In this environment, timing is everything. The dough rises slowly, responding to the warmth of the kitchen and the rhythm of the day. The cook, meanwhile, must balance this with the demands of other tasks, ensuring that the bread is ready to bake at the optimal moment. Here, the passage of time is marked not by clocks, but by the subtle cues of the dough itself, its texture, its size, its scent. These cues guide the cook in a dance of intuition and experience, a gentle assurance that the bread is ready to meet the oven's embrace. Once the dough is shaped into loaves, it is time for the final act of the process, the baking itself. The loaves are carefully placed within the oven, their placement strategic to ensure even baking. The cook remains vigilant, knowing that each moment within the oven contributes to the bread's final character. The sounds of baking crackles and pops are subtle indicators of progress, while the growing aroma of fresh bread fills the air, a comforting signal of success. As the baking concludes, the loaves are retrieved, their golden crusts a testament to the cook's careful attention and the oven's consistent warmth. The bread is then set aside to cool, its presence a quiet promise of sustenance for those who will gather to eat. This cycle of bread-making, though seemingly simple, is a profound reflection of the castle's life, an essential, yet understated, act of nourishment that supports the daily rhythm. Throughout this process, the cook's role is one of stewardship, guiding ingredients through their transformation with care and precision. The bread emerging from the communal oven is more than just food. It is a symbol of continuity and community, a humble yet profound testament to the balance of time, heat, and human touch. As the day progresses, the bread will be shared, its quiet presence a reminder of the steady, unchanging rhythms that define life within the castle walls. In the calm of this ancient practice, the cook finds a moment of reflection, a pause in the day's demands. The act of making bread is not merely a task, but a connection to the earth, to tradition, and to the shared human experience. It is a reminder that even in the grandest of settings, it is the simple, everyday acts that sustain and nurture, that bring warmth and comfort to the heart of the castle. In the medieval kitchen, the preservation of meat was a task of utmost importance. Without the luxury of refrigeration, the process required not only skill, but also a deep understanding of the elements and their influence on food. The cook, with an eye for detail and a steady hand, would begin by considering the nature of the meat itself. Each cut, whether from a cow, pig, or bird, had its own qualities and demands. The aim was to ensure that precious protein, once acquired, could be stored for as long as possible without spoilage. Salting was a preferred method, relying on the natural preservative qualities of sodium chloride. It was a straightforward but effective technique. Large earthenware tubs would be filled with coarse salt, the crystals sharp and granular to the touch. Meat would be submerged, layer upon layer, interspersed with more salt to draw out moisture and prevent bacterial growth. This process not only preserved the meat, but also altered its texture, making it firmer and more robust. Over time, the salt would permeate deep into the flesh, ensuring that every bite was seasoned and safe for consumption. Smoking, too, offered a reliable means of preservation. In a world where the smoke was a constant companion, it served a dual purpose. The kitchen's large hearths, often with hooks suspended above, provided the perfect environment. Meat, after being salted, would be hung in the path of the rising smoke. This aromatic cloud, rich with the scent of burning wood, would envelop the meat, imparting a distinctive flavor and forming a protective barrier. The smoke itself was a blend of compounds that acted as preservatives, further extending the meat's shelf life and adding complexity to its taste. Roasting, while primarily a method of cooking, also played a role in the preservation process. The heat of the fire, carefully controlled and monitored, would sear the outside of the meat, creating a crust that sealed in juices and flavors. This outer layer, slightly charred and infused with the aroma of the hearth, offered temporary preservation by reducing the risk of immediate spoilage. Roasted meat was often consumed quickly, yet any leftovers were treated with care, sometimes returning to the fire for a second, roasting or being incorporated into stews and pottages to ensure nothing was wasted. The preservation of meat required an understanding of time and patience. Days would often pass before the process was complete, with the cook regularly inspecting the stores, turning cuts, and adjusting their position within the smokehouse or salting tubs. This attention to detail ensured that the meat remained in the best condition possible, ready to feed the castle's inhabitants when fresh supplies were scarce or celebrations demanded abundance. In this quiet cycle, the cook's knowledge of preservation was a testament to the ingenuity and adaptability of those who lived in a time before refrigeration. It was a practice that balanced necessity with tradition, ensuring that the castle's tables were always supplied, even in the depths of winter. Each preserved cut was a reminder of the cook's skill, an unspoken promise that, through careful preparation and preservation, the needs of the household would be met, one salted, smoked, or roasted piece at a time. In the heart of the medieval kitchen, there existed a dish as dependable as the rising sun, a dish that offered sustenance to all who labored within the castle walls. This was the pottage, a thick, hearty stew composed of grains and vegetables. Its simplicity belied the essential role it played in the daily lives of those who relied upon it for nourishment. As the cook stirred the pot, the gentle rhythm of their movements mirrored the slow, unchanging cycle of life within the castle. To understand pottage, one must first appreciate the ingredients from which it was crafted. Often, barley or oats formed the base, lending the stew a pleasing thickness and a subtle, earthy flavor. Into this, an assortment of vegetables would be added, each selected for its availability and hardiness. Carrots, turnips, and onions were common, their robust nature allowing them to endure the extended cooking process. These ingredients spoke of the land, of fields worked diligently by hands that knew the touch of soil and the rhythm of the seasons. The preparation of pottage was a daily ritual, a task requiring both patience and care. In the early hours before the castle had fully awakened, the cook would begin their work. Potatoes and vegetables were chopped with a practiced hand, each slice and dice an echo of countless mornings past. The grains were washed and set aside, their pale hues contrasting against the dark stone of the kitchen floor. All the while, the large pot awaited its contents, a silent sentinel standing by the hearth. As the pottage simmered, its aromas gradually filled the kitchen, weaving through the air and mingling with the ever-present scent of smoke. The slow cooking allowed flavors to meld, the individual notes of grain and vegetable blending into a harmonious whole. It was a process that demanded time, yet this was time well spent, for the resulting dish would sustain the castle's inhabitants through their daily toil. In a world without refrigeration, pottage offered a solution to the challenge of preservation. The slow cooking of grains and vegetables not only unlocked their flavors, but also extended their shelf life. In the hands of a skilled cook, even the most humble of ingredients could be transformed into a meal that was both nourishing and satisfying. This transformation was not one of magic, but rather the result of understanding and respect for the ingredients at hand. Over time, small variations would be introduced into the pottage, reflecting the changing seasons and the availability of ingredients. In spring, fresh shoots and herbs might be added, their vibrant green hues a welcome sight after the long winter months. As autumn approached, the pottage might take on a richer character, with the inclusion of root vegetables that had been carefully stored. Each variation, however subtle, was an acknowledgement of nature's cycles and the ongoing dance between human and environment. The act of consuming pottage was itself a communal experience. Gathered together in the great hall or the more modest quarters of the staff, the inhabitants of the castle would partake in a meal that was both simple and sustaining. Each spoonful brought warmth, a reminder of the cook's care and the interconnectedness of all within the castle's walls. In these moments, the boundaries of rank and status blurred, united by the shared need for sustenance. Yet, while pottage was a staple, it was also a reflection of the broader medieval diet. It highlighted the reliance on plant-based foods and the importance of grains as a primary source of energy. This was a time when meat was a luxury, reserved for special occasions or those of higher status. The everyday table was more likely to be graced by the humble pottage than by a lavish feast. As the day progressed, the pottage would be revisited, perhaps with the addition of a bone or some scraps from the previous day's meals. These additions enriched the stew, deepening its flavor and allowing nothing to go to waste. This practice of using every part of an ingredient was born out of necessity, yet it also demonstrated a respect for resources that was deeply ingrained in the medieval worldview. The cook, aware of the importance of their work, approached the preparation of pottage with a sense of duty and pride. Each pot stirred was a continuation of a tradition, a nod to those who had come before and those who would follow. In the quiet moments between stirring and serving, the cook could reflect on the simplicity and resilience of the dish, its ability to nourish not just the body, but the spirit as well. In this way, pottage became more than just a meal. It was a symbol of continuity, a testament to the enduring nature of life within the castle. Its presence at the table was as certain as the passage of time, a reminder that even in a world of change, some things remained constant. And so, as the day drew to a close and the final bowl was emptied, the cook could rest, knowing that their efforts had once again sustained the beating heart of the castle. In the quiet world of a medieval castle kitchen, spices held a place of subtle yet profound significance. To the untrained eye, a pinch of pepper or a thread of saffron might seem insignificant, yet these exotic ingredients whispered of distant lands and untold wealth. Their presence in a dish was more than a matter of taste. It was a statement of status. It was a statement of status, a symbol of the Lord's reach and influence. Pepper, small and unassuming, was among the most prized of these spices. Its journey to the castle table began far from the damp English countryside, in the sun-dappled gardens of southern India. There, the peppercorn vine clung to the trunks of towering trees, its tiny, pungent fruits ripening under the tropical sun. Harvested and dried, they embarked on a long voyage across land and sea, passing through the hands of numerous traders, each transaction adding to their value. By the time they reached the castle cook, these tiny black beads were more precious than gold, their fiery heat reserved for the most esteemed guests and occasions. In the castle kitchen, the cook handled pepper with care and precision. A few grains ground into a sauce or sprinkled over a roasted joint could transform a dish, elevating simple fare into something remarkable. Yet pepper's worth extended beyond the palate. To serve a dish spiced with pepper was to signal the household's wealth and connections, to remind those gathered around the table of the Lord's power and prestige. Then there was cinnamon, its warm, sweet aroma, a reminder of distant lands and exotic marketplaces. This spice, too, had traveled far, originating from the bark of trees native to Sri Lanka and the Malabar coast. Rolled into sticks and carried by caravans and ships, it journeyed across continents, a testament to the complex web of trade that linked medieval Europe to the East. In the castle kitchen, cinnamon was a versatile ally. Its sweet notes complemented the richness of meats and enhanced the flavor of fruit-based dishes. Yet, as with pepper, its true value lay not only in its culinary potential, but in the prestige it conferred. A dish flavored with cinnamon was a subtle proclamation of the lord's ability to obtain such luxuries, a reminder of the reach of his influence. Saffron, however, was the crowning glory of the medieval spice collection. Its delicate threads, harvested from the stigmas of the crocus flower, were so precious that they were often weighed against gold. The labor-intensive process of cultivating and harvesting saffron ensured its status as a luxury item, one that few could afford to use with abandon. In the kitchen, the cook treated saffron with the utmost respect. Just a few threads could infuse a dish with a vibrant golden hue and a distinctive earthy aroma. Its presence in a meal spoke volumes, a silent acknowledgement of the lord's immense wealth and the lengths to which he would go to impress and delight his guests. The use of these spices was an art, one the cook mastered with time and experience. Their careful integration into the menu required a balance of flavor and restraint, ensuring that the dishes remained palatable and the spices' value unmistakable. In this way, the cook played a crucial role in the household's social dynamics, an unseen yet essential participant in the display of wealth and power. As the day progressed and the kitchen bustled with activity, the cook remained ever mindful of the importance of spices. Each meal served was a performance, each dish a canvas on which the cook painted with the colors and aromas of distant lands. The spices, though small and easily overlooked, were the finishing touch, the flourish that elevated the feast from mere sustenance to an experience of opulence and sophistication. To the guests seated in the great hall, the presence of pepper, cinnamon, and saffron was a subtle reminder of their host's status and the far-reaching connections that brought such treasures to their plates. To the lord and lady of the castle, these spices were a tool of diplomacy and influence, a means of impressing allies and intimidating rivals. And to the cook, they were an integral part of the daily rhythm, a constant in the ever-changing landscape of the medieval kitchen. In the end, the spices' journey from distant lands to the heart of the castle was a testament to the interconnectedness of the medieval world. They linked the cook to a network of trade and tradition, a tapestry of culture and commerce that spanned continents and centuries. And as the hearth's glow dimmed and the day's work drew to a close, the cook knew that tomorrow would bring another opportunity to weave these precious threads into the fabric of the castle's life, a gentle reminder of the enduring power of spices and the status they conferred. In the heart of the medieval castle, the kitchen finds itself at its busiest during the midday meal. The air hums with a quiet urgency, though not the frantic scramble one might expect. Rather, it is a symphony of coordinated movements, a testament to the cook's skill in orchestrating the day's culinary endeavors. Helpers move with purpose, each action a small part of a larger whole. In this space, the cook stands as a conductor might before an orchestra. The kitchen is a world of its own, nested within the castle yet bustling with its own rhythms and demands. Helpers gather around, ready to assist, aware of their roles and the tasks that lie ahead. Each person knows their place, from tending the fires to fetching ingredients and ensuring the cook has what is needed. There is no need for raised voices or hurried exchanges. Instead, a nod or a gesture suffices. Central to the kitchen's operation is the management of the fires, which burn steadily in the large hearths. These fires are the heartbeat of the kitchen, requiring constant attention to maintain the right temperature for various dishes. The cook oversees this delicate balance, adjusting logs and embers, ensuring that the heat meets the demands of each pot and pan that simmers or sears above the flames. It is a slow, deliberate dance, one that requires understanding and respect for the fire's nature. Simultaneously, the preparation of ingredients unfolds with a sense of measured calm. The cook directs helpers to chop, grind, and mix, their hands moving in practiced motions. Vegetables, gathered from the castle's stores, are diced or sliced with care, their colors vibrant against the worn wooden boards. Meats, too, are prepared with precision, their cuts tailored to the dish they will soon become part of. Each ingredient is a note in the day's culinary composition, and the cook ensures they harmonize together seamlessly. The timing of each dish is crucial, a skill honed through years of experience. The cook knows when to start the stew so it reaches its flavorful peak, just as the platters are needed in the great hall. There is an art to this, a quiet knowledge of how long each element takes to cook and how they must be staggered to align perfectly. This understanding allows the kitchen to function smoothly, as if guided by an invisible hand. Despite the controlled activity, the kitchen is not without its challenges. On occasion, a fire may burn too low, or a pot may threaten to boil over. Yet in these moments, the cook remains unflustered, adapting with a steady hand and a clear mind. Helpers respond to these cues, adjusting their tasks as needed, ensuring that the flow of work continues uninterrupted. This resilience is born of routine and familiarity, the knowledge that solutions will present themselves if one remains calm and attentive. As midday approaches, the kitchen reaches its peak of productivity. Platters are assembled with care, each dish a testament to the skill and labor that has gone into its creation. The cook inspects each one, ensuring that the presentation meets the standard expected in the castle's great hall. There is an understated pride in this, the knowledge that the meal will nourish those who partake of it, a quiet satisfaction in a job well done. Helpers carry the dishes from the kitchen, moving through the stone corridors that lead to the dining areas. They do so with a sense of purpose, aware of the importance of their task and the need for timeliness. The cook watches them go, knowing that this moment of respite is brief, that soon the rhythm of the kitchen will resume once more. Yet, for now, there is a pause, a chance to reflect on the morning's work and prepare for whatever the afternoon may bring. In this way, the midday rush is not a whirlwind or a frenzy, but a carefully managed process. It is a testament to the cook's ability to guide the kitchen through its busiest time, to balance the demands of fire, food, and timing with an unhurried grace. As the echoes of footsteps fade down the corridors, the kitchen takes a breath, ready to begin the cycle anew when the time comes. In the heart of the castle, where echoes of the day's activity reverberate against stone walls, the great hall stands as a silent witness to the rhythms of medieval life. Here, The cook's labor culminates in a display of abundance, a careful choreography of movement, presentation, and purpose. As the afternoon sun dips, casting long shadows across the flagstones, the time to serve approaches with an inexorable calm. In the cool, dim corridors that connect the kitchen to the great hall, the cook and their assistants prepare to transport the fruits of their labor. The passageways, though familiar, demand attention. Each step is measured, each turn anticipated. The weight of the platters, laden with roasted meats and freshly baked bread, requires both strength and balance. The stone beneath their feet is worn smooth by countless journeys before them, a testament to the enduring routine. The presentation of food in the Great Hall is more than mere sustenance. It is a reflection of the Lord's status, a visible symbol of wealth and hospitality. The cook understands this implicitly. Each dish is arranged with care, the colors and textures chosen to delight the eye as much as the palate. The roasted game is garnished with herbs, their freshness a vivid contrast to the rich, browned meat. The bread, golden and fragrant, is stacked in baskets, inviting and warm. As they enter the hall, the atmosphere shifts subtly. The space is vast, with high, vaulted ceilings that draw the eye upwards. Tapestries hang from the walls, their intricate patterns telling stories of past glories and noble lineage. Long tables are arranged in neat rows, each one set with pewter plates and wooden cups. The smell of the meal mingles with the faint scent of beeswax from the candles, creating an ambience that is both celebratory and serene. Carrying the platters requires a steady hand and a deliberate pace. The cook and their helpers move in unison, a quiet procession that speaks of practice and precision. The Lord's table, set on a dais at the far end of the hall, is their destination. Here, presentation matters most. The dishes are placed with care, each one a testament to the cook's skill and the household's provision. The Lord and his guests gather, their conversation a low murmur punctuated by the occasional laugh. As the meal is served, the cook remains attentive, watching from a distance. Their role, though largely unseen, is crucial. The ability to anticipate needs, to ensure that each guest is satisfied, requires intuition and experience. The interplay of service and observation is a delicate balance, one that is honed over years of practice. The meal unfolds at a leisurely pace, each course a new opportunity for the cook to demonstrate their art. Soups and stews are ladled into bowls, their steam rising in gentle wisps. Meats are carved with care, each slice revealing the tender interior. Vegetables, roasted and seasoned, add color and variety to the table. The feast is both abundant and orchestrated, a reflection of the castle's prosperity and the cook's dedication. Beyond the immediate demands of service, there is a deeper rhythm at play. The act of feeding others, of nourishing both body and spirit, is a ritual as old as the castle itself. The Great Hall, with its echoes of past gatherings and celebrations, is a space where community is reinforced and relationships are fostered. The cook's role in this ritual is both humble and significant, their work a quiet thread in the tapestry of daily life. As the meal concludes and the guests begin to disperse, the cook and their assistants remain engaged. Clearing the tables, collecting the used platters, and ensuring the hall is returned to its original order is a task that requires care and attention. The remnants of the feast, though diminished, speak of a job well done. Each empty dish, each satisfied guest, is a testament to the cook's efforts, The journey back through the corridors is a familiar one, the platters now lighter, the pace more relaxed. The kitchen awaits, a space where the fires still burn low and the aroma of the meal lingers in the air. Here the cook can pause, their work for the day nearly complete. The satisfaction of a successful service is a quiet reward, a moment of reflection in the steady rhythm of castle life. In serving the great hall, the cook participates in a timeless tradition, one that connects them to both the past and the future. Their labor, though often unseen and unspoken, is a vital part of the castle's daily rhythm. It is a role that demands dedication, skill, and an understanding of the delicate balance between abundance and restraint. Through their work, the cook ensures that the Great Hall remains a place of hospitality and community, a space where the art of nourishment is celebrated and shared. In the quiet corridors of a medieval castle, where stone walls absorb the echoes of daily life, the rhythm of the day extends beyond the grand feasts served in the Great Hall. Here, beneath the surface of the noble gatherings, lies a subtler story of sustenance and hierarchy, where the castle cook's duties stretch to feeding the very staff that keeps the fortress alive. Within the castle's hierarchy, the meals provided to guards, servants, and laborers reflect their standing, a silent testament to the structure that governs medieval life. The castle cook, often thought of as the architect of grandeur, must also turn their attention to the more humble fare required by those who toil behind the scenes. As the day progresses, the kitchen becomes a hive of activity, not just for preparing the Lord's table, but for ensuring that every mouth within the castle walls receives nourishment. The guards, ever vigilant at their posts, require hearty sustenance to endure the long hours of watch. Their meals, substantial and robust, often consist of thick stews enriched with meat, providing the energy needed for their duties. Servants, whose tasks range from maintaining the Lord's chambers to attending to his guests, partake in simpler fare. Bread, cheese, and pottage make up their meals, filling and steady, ensuring they can continue their work without interruption. The cook must balance these needs, crafting meals that reflect the staff's roles while utilizing the ingredients on hand. It's a delicate dance of resourcefulness and respect for the social order. Laborers, tasked with the physical demands of castle maintenance, receive meals that are practical and fortifying. Their food, though basic, is designed to sustain them through the rigor of their work. Grains and pulses, staples of the medieval diet, form the backbone of their nourishment, often accompanied by hearty bread. The castle cook, in understanding the needs of these workers, ensures that their meals, while simple, do not lack in sustenance. Food, in this setting, is more than mere sustenance. It is a reflection of the castle's hierarchy. The cook's role extends beyond the preparation of meals to include an understanding of the social dynamics at play. Each dish served is a quiet acknowledgement of place and purpose within the medieval world. The cook navigates these waters with care, ensuring that the meals provided are not only sufficient but appropriate to the status of those they serve. Within the castle's walls, the distribution of food becomes an expression of the invisible threads that bind the community together. Guards at their posts, servants attending to their tasks, and laborers working the grounds all partake in meals that reinforce their roles within the castle's ecosystem. The cook, in orchestrating these meals, weaves a tapestry of nourishment that sustains the castle from within. As the day unfolds, the kitchen remains a constant, its fires burning steadily, its air filled with the sense of cooking. The cook and their assistants work in tandem, a seamless operation where each member of the staff receives their due. In this quiet choreography, the castle's needs are met, its hierarchy respected, and its people sustained. The process of feeding the staff is one of rhythm and routine, a daily ritual that underscores the interconnectedness of the castle's inhabitants. Through the simple act of preparing meals, the cook participates in a larger narrative, one that speaks to the enduring nature of medieval life. As the day draws to a close and the last of the dishes are served, the cook can reflect on a job well done, knowing that they have played their part in the castle's story. In the stillness of the kitchen, as the fires are banked and the day's work is done, there remains a sense of continuity. The meals served to the staff are more than just food. They are a reflection of the castle's order and the cook's role within it. Through this lens, the act of feeding the staff is elevated to something greater, a quiet affirmation of the roles and relationships that define life within the castle's walls. In the heart of a medieval castle's bustling kitchen, the air is thick with the scent of wood smoke and simmering broth. The warmth of the hearth fills the room, mingling with the earthy aromas of vegetables and the faint tang of cured meats. In this lively but enclosed space, maintaining hygiene poses a quiet but constant challenge. The stone floors, worn smooth by countless footsteps, bear witness to the daily activity, while the smoke-darkened beams above absorb the heat and odors of countless meals prepared over the years. In an era where understanding of germs and bacteria is beyond the reach of common knowledge, the concept of cleanliness takes on a different form. The kitchen, a hub of activity, lacks the modern conveniences of running water or the luxury of soap as we know it today. Water for washing must be hauled from the well, often cold and bracing, and soothed only by the rare warmth of heated water when time allows. This simple act requires planning and effort, as each drop is precious and laboriously collected. The cook and their assistants, moving with practiced efficiency, are aware of the need to keep their hands and utensils as clean as possible. They understand, if only through experience, that the success of their culinary efforts depends on it. Wooden boards, heavy knives, and earthenware pots are scrubbed with sand and ash, their surfaces scoured and rinsed, then left to dry in the warmth of the kitchen or under the watchful eye of the sun when the weather is fair. Yet, the challenges remain. The smoke that curls up from the hearth clings to everything, leaving a fine layer of soot on shelves and surfaces, a reminder of the fires that must be kept burning throughout the day. This quiet residue, a byproduct of necessity, is ever present, requiring constant attention to keep it from settling too deeply into the fabric of daily life. Despite these efforts, the risks of food preparation in such an environment are ever present. Without refrigeration, ingredients must be used swiftly or preserved carefully, a practice that requires skill and vigilance. The meats, salted and hung in the cooler shadows of the storerooms, offer sustenance, but must be inspected closely for signs of spoilage. In the heat of summer, this task becomes even more pressing, as the warmth hastens the decay of even the most carefully tended provisions. The air itself, heavy with moisture and the remnants of meals past, can be both a friend and a foe. It keeps the bread from drying too quickly, allowing it to retain its softness, but it also encourages the growth of mold if left unchecked. The cook, mindful of these subtleties, must balance these factors, ensuring that storerooms are well ventilated and that food is rotated and inspected regularly. The health of those who partake of the meals prepared within these walls depends on this careful dance of cleanliness and preservation. Illness, when it strikes, often appears without warning, attributed to imbalanced humors or the whims of fortune. In truth, it is the unseen world of microbes and bacteria, unknown to the medieval mind, that plays a silent role in the health of the household. Yet, within these constraints, there exists a quiet rhythm, a routine that has evolved over generations. The cook, through instinct and experience, knows the importance of keeping a clean space, of ensuring that food is prepared with care and attention. The kitchen, despite its limitations, is a place where meals are crafted with a focus on nourishment and sustenance. As the day wanes and the evening meal is served, the kitchen begins to quieten. The fires are banked, the pots scrubbed, and the surfaces wiped down once more. The smoke lingers in the air, a testament to the day's work, while the cook takes a moment to reflect on the delicate balance maintained throughout the day. This balance, though unseen, is felt in the satisfied murmurs of those who gather in the great hall, sharing in the fruits of the day's labor. In this medieval setting, hygiene and health are not simply about cleanliness in the modern sense, but rather about maintaining a delicate order within the constraints of the time. It is about understanding the limits of the environment and working within them to provide nourishment and care. The kitchen, a place of warmth and sustenance, serves as both a challenge and a refuge, where each day brings the opportunity to learn and adapt, quietly shaping the lives of those who dwell within the castle's sturdy walls. In the heart of the medieval kitchen, life unfolded with a rhythm dictated by forces beyond the castle walls. Each day carried the imprint of a larger order, one that shaped the meals prepared and the ingredients chosen. This order was not solely born of nature's cycles, but intertwined with the spiritual cadence set by the church. Feast days and fast days marked the calendar, each with its own demands and prohibitions, guiding the hands of those who toiled in the heat and smoke of the kitchen. The kitchen's tempo was set by a calendar that blended the ecclesiastical with the agricultural. Throughout the year, the cycle of feast days provided moments of both celebration and reflection. These days punctuated the routine, calling for dishes that deviated from the everyday fare. On these occasions, the cook's skill was displayed in abundance, as tables were adorned with dishes richer and more elaborate than those of ordinary days. The choice of ingredients on such days was a testament to the household's wealth and piety, an offering as much to guests as to the divine. Yet, alongside these feasts were the fasts, periods marked by restraint and simplicity. During these times, the kitchen's task was to adhere to the church's decrees, which dictated abstention from certain foods, most notably meat. This was a time for creativity within constraints, as the cook sought to provide nourishment and satisfaction within the bounds of what was allowed. Fish often took center stage, its presence a nod to the solemnity of the occasion and the adherence to spiritual discipline. Pulses and grains, humble yet sustaining, formed the backbone of meals designed to nourish without excess. The influence of the church extended beyond these days of feast and fast, subtly weaving through the entire year. The liturgical calendar, with its seasons of Advent, Lent, and beyond, provided a framework that the cook navigated with care. Each season brought its own set of expectations, a silent guide to what should grace the table. This rhythm, though dictated by religious observance, was deeply practical, aligning with the availability of ingredients and the natural cycles of the land. As winter gave way to spring, the promise of renewal was mirrored in the kitchen's offerings. The austerity of Lent was followed by the joy of Easter, a time to break the fast with dishes that celebrated the earth's reawakening. The cook embraced the fresh bounty, incorporating greens and herbs that had been absent during the colder months. This transition was a quiet testament to the enduring balance between scarcity and abundance, a dance performed in harmony with the world outside. Summer brought its own challenges and rewards, with the long days offering an abundance of produce. The kitchen buzzed with activity, preserving the summer's bounty for the leaner times ahead. This was a season of plenty, yet also of preparation, as the cook planned for the inevitable return of winter's scarcity. The cycle of the seasons was a reminder of the earth's generosity and the need for foresight and care. Autumn, with its harvest festivals, marked a time of gratitude and abundance. The cook's work was both a celebration of the year's labors and a preparation for the colder months. It was a time to showcase the fruits of the harvest, with meals that reflected the richness of the land. Yet, even in this season of plenty, there was an awareness of the turning year and the need to conserve and plan. The rhythm of feast and fast, abundance and restraint, was a reflection of a world where the sacred and the mundane intertwined. The kitchen, though a place of labor, was also a place of reflection, where the cycle of the year was honored through the meals prepared within its walls. The cook, guided by both the church and the natural world, moved with a quiet understanding of this balance. As the year turned, the cook's role remained steadfast, an anchor in the ever-changing flow of time. Each day, guided by the rhythms of the calendar, was a step in the ongoing journey through the seasons. The kitchen, with its sounds and smells, was both a constant and a reflection of the world beyond. A place where the cycle of life, with its feast days and fast days, was honored and observed. In this quiet dance of time, the cook found a rhythm that was both personal and universal, a testament to the enduring connection between the spiritual and the earthly. The meals prepared were more than sustenance. They were an expression of this balance, a reminder of the shared journey through the seasons, guided by the rhythms of the natural world and the spiritual calendar. In the dim light of the early morning, the castle kitchen is a place of quiet anticipation. The air is filled with a gentle hum of activity, as if the stones themselves sense the importance of the day. Special occasions in a medieval castle are times of both joy and responsibility, where the culinary efforts of weeks are brought to fruition. The cook, with a calm and steady hand, oversees the unfolding of a carefully orchestrated plan. The preparations for a grand event, such as a wedding or the visit of a noble, begin long before the actual day. The cook must consider every detail, from the selection of ingredients to the arrangement of the great hall. It is a process that requires foresight and patience. Supplies are gathered gradually, with special attention paid to those items that are rare and valuable. Spices, meats, and wines are secured, each chosen with care to reflect the importance of the gathering. In the weeks leading up to the occasion, the rhythm of the kitchen shifts subtly. The usual routine of daily meals gives way to a more complex dance of tasks. Extra hands may be called upon to assist, their roles clearly defined by the cook's quiet authority. There is a sense of purpose that pervades the air, a collective understanding of the significance of what is to come. The cook, at the center of it all, remains composed, guiding each step with a practiced ease. As the day approaches, the tempo increases, yet without haste. The preparation of certain dishes begins days in advance. Meats are marinated and seasoned, allowing flavors to develop slowly. Pastries are crafted with precision, each one a delicate balance of texture and taste. The cook oversees these tasks with an eye for detail, ensuring that nothing is left to chance. It is a time of careful coordination, where every action is part of a larger whole. On the day itself, the kitchen becomes a hive of activity. The fires are stoked to a steady blaze, their warmth spreading throughout the stone room. The cook moves with intention, orchestrating the efforts of assistants and apprentices. Each person knows their role, contributing to the seamless execution of the plan. The atmosphere is one of focused calm, where even the clatter of pots and the crackle of flames seem to fall into a soothing rhythm. The menu for such an occasion is a reflection of the castle's status and the taste of its lord. It is both a feast for the senses and a statement of wealth and hospitality. There are countless details to attend to, from the presentation of each dish to the timing of their arrival in the Great Hall. The cook must be mindful of these elements, balancing the demands of the occasion with the reality of the kitchen's capabilities. As the day progresses, the cook remains vigilant. The dishes are prepared and sent forth with a sense of quiet satisfaction. Each platter is a culmination of weeks of effort, a testament to the skill and dedication of the kitchen staff. The cook's eye for detail ensures that every aspect of the meal is as it should be, from the seasoning of the meats to the arrangement of the table. In the Great Hall, the feast unfolds with a sense of grandeur. The guests, adorned in their finest attire, are seated in anticipation. The aroma of the food fills the air, mingling with the soft glow of candlelight. It is a moment of celebration, where the labor of the kitchen is transformed into a shared experience of enjoyment and community. The cook, though unseen by most, plays a vital role in this tapestry of celebration. As the evening draws to a close, the cook reflects on the day's work. There is a quiet satisfaction in knowing that the event has been a success, that the efforts of the kitchen have contributed to a memorable occasion. The guests depart, their spirits lifted by the hospitality they have received. In the kitchen, the fires are banked and the utensils are cleaned and stored for another day. The special occasion has passed, leaving behind a sense of accomplishment and fulfillment. The cook, with a steady hand and a calm heart, has guided the castle through a day of celebration. It is a role that requires both skill and humility, an understanding of the balance between tradition and creativity. In the gentle quiet that follows, the kitchen returns to its usual rhythm, ready to embrace the tasks of the coming days. In the gentle hum of a medieval castle kitchen, the art of resourcefulness quietly unfolds. Amidst the daily rhythm of preparation and cooking, there lies an unspoken understanding of the value inherent in every morsel. The cook, with a practiced eye and steady hand, orchestrates the transformation of what might otherwise be discarded into nourishing sustenance. Bones, stripped of their meat, find new purpose, simmering slowly in cauldrons to create rich broths. This simple act of boiling bones extracts their essence, infusing water with minerals and a depth of flavor that can form the base of many a meal. The process of making broth is one of patience. As the water gently bubbles and swirls around the bones, heat coaxes out the hidden richness within. This slow, deliberate extraction is a testament to the cook's understanding of time and temperature, a quiet mastery that requires no rush. Over several hours, the broth thickens, its surface occasionally skimmed to remove any impurities, leaving behind a clear and nourishing liquid. This broth becomes the foundation for stews and soups, stretching ingredients further and adding both taste and sustenance to the meals of the castle inhabitants. Stale bread, another common remnant of the kitchen, is not wasted but repurposed into a variety of dishes. Bread, once fresh and soft, turns hard with time, but the cook sees opportunity rather than waste. In the hands of the skilled cook, stale bread is transformed into puddings and thickeners for pottages. By soaking the bread in milk or broth, it regains a soft texture, becoming the basis for a simple pudding that can be sweetened with honey or spices if available. This use of stale bread not only prevents waste, but also provides a comforting dish for the household. The act of making use of every part of the ingredients available is woven into the very fabric of medieval cooking. It is an exercise in ingenuity, where every scrap is seen as a potential component of a meal. Vegetable peelings and trimmings are not discarded outright, but added to pots to contribute their flavor to stocks and broths. These small acts of conservation are driven by necessity, a reflection of a time when resources were precious and wastefulness was not a luxury that could be afforded. In this kitchen, nothing is wasted if it can be avoided. Meat drippings collected from roasting pans are saved to enrich gravies and sauces. The fat rendered down can be used in cooking, adding richness to other dishes. Even the seemingly insignificant crumbs from bread are gathered and used to coat meats or thicken soups, demonstrating a commitment to making the most of what is available. This approach not only conserves resources, but also enhances the flavors and textures of the meals prepared. The cook's resourcefulness is not merely a matter of frugality, but also a demonstration of respect for the ingredients. Each element of the meal is treated with care and consideration, acknowledging the effort and energy that went into producing it. Whether it is the flour milled from grain or the vegetables grown in the castle gardens, there is a profound awareness of the interconnectedness of all things and the importance of minimizing waste. As the day progresses, the kitchen remains a hive of quiet activity, and the cook's resourceful spirit continues to guide their actions. Leftovers from one meal are thoughtfully transformed into the next, ensuring that each day's efforts contribute to the sustenance of the castle's inhabitants. This cycle of use and reuse forms a continuous loop, sustaining not only the physical needs of the household, but also the rhythms of life within the castle walls. In this practice of resourcefulness, there is a kind of quiet resilience. It reflects an understanding that resources are finite, and that careful management of what is available is essential for the well-being of the community. The cook's role in this system is pivotal, their actions ensuring that nothing is wasted and that every meal serves its purpose. As the evening draws near and the kitchen's fires begin to dim, the evidence of the day's labors is apparent. The pots and pans, once filled with potential waste, have contributed to the nourishment of the household. The cook, satisfied with the day's work, reflects on the delicate balance of resourcefulness and creativity that defines their role. It is a balance that has sustained generations, a testament to the enduring wisdom of making the most of what one has. In the soft glow of the hearth, the kitchen stands as a quiet testament to the art of resourcefulness. It is a place where waste is minimized and every ingredient is given its due. The cook's hands, guided by experience and necessity, ensure that nothing is taken for granted. In this way, the medieval kitchen becomes a microcosm of sustainability, a reminder of the value in using what we have wisely and with respect. As the day ends, the cook knows that tomorrow will bring new challenges and opportunities, but the principles of resourcefulness will remain constant, guiding their work with a steady hand and an unwavering commitment to the art of conservation. In the heart of a medieval castle, the kitchen was a place of perpetual motion. It was a realm where the physical demands were as constant as the turning of the seasons. Here, the cook was both conductor and laborer, orchestrating the day's meals while enduring the rigors of a challenging environment. The work was unrelenting, requiring a resilience that mirrored the stones of the castle itself. The kitchen was a domain dominated by heat. The large hearths, vital for cooking, emitted a relentless warmth that permeated the air. This heat, while essential, created a demanding atmosphere where the cook and their assistants toiled. The temperature was a constant companion, wrapping around them as they moved through their tasks. It demanded both physical stamina and mental fortitude, as the cook navigated the day's duties amidst the ever-present warmth. Heavy lifting was a routine part of the cook's day. Large cauldrons filled to the brim required careful handling. Each movement was deliberate, each muscle engaged in the task of transferring these hefty vessels from one place to another. This act was not merely about strength, but also about balance and precision. A steady hand was needed to ensure the contents remained within, preventing any waste in a world where resources were precious. Beyond the lifting, there was the constant standing. The cook's day was long, with hours spent on their feet. The stone floor, hard and unforgiving, offered little respite. In this environment, endurance was key. The cook moved from hearth to table, from pantry to preparation area, each step a testament to their dedication. The rhythm of their work was a dance of necessity, dictated by the demands of the meals and the expectations of the household. The kitchen was a place where time seemed to stretch and compress in equal measure. Tasks flowed into one another, each with its own tempo, each requiring the cook's full attention. There was little room for rest, with each moment filled with the urgency of the next task. Yet within this cadence, the cook found a form of stability, a routine that guided them through the hours. The environment itself added to the physical demands. The kitchen was often filled with smoke, a byproduct of the fires that were essential for cooking. This haze, lingering in the air, was a constant presence. It added an additional layer of challenge as the cook navigated their tasks with eyes that could often be stung by the smoke. Yet this too became part of the rhythm, a background hum to the daily symphony of work. The cook's attire, while functional, added to the physical challenge. The weight of the clothing, designed to protect from the heat and the occasional spill, was a constant companion. It restricted movement, adding another layer to the day's exertion. Yet, these garments were as much a part of the cook's identity as the tools of their trade, a uniform that signified their role within the castle's hierarchy. In this demanding environment, the cook's body became finely tuned to the tasks at hand. Muscles adapted to the weight of the pots and the long hours on foot. Hands grew calloused from handling the tools of the trade. There was a certain grace in the way the cook moved, each action honed by repetition, each gesture an echo of the countless days spent in service to the household. Through each physical demand, there was a sense of purpose. The cook's labor was not merely about preparing food, it was about sustaining life within the castle's walls. Each meal served was a testament to their skill and endurance, a reflection of their ability to meet the day's challenges head-on. In the quiet moments, when the kitchen paused between tasks, there was a satisfaction in knowing that their efforts were a crucial part of the castle's daily rhythm. The physical demands of the cook's life were a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. In the face of heat, weight, and long hours, the cook persevered, guided by a commitment to their craft. It was a life where physical exertion and purpose were intertwined, each day a new chapter in the ongoing story of the castle's kitchen. Here, amidst the heat and the labor, the cook found their place, a vital cog in the grand machinery of medieval life. As the day gradually retreats into the gentle embrace of evening, the castle kitchen finds itself in a state of subdued calm. The bustling energy that defined the day slowly dissipates, replaced by the steady rhythm of the evening cleanup. The cook, along with a few trusted assistants, remains at the heart of this transformation, guiding the space back to a state of quiet readiness for the morrow's demands. The kitchen, still warm from the day's endeavors, holds a lingering aroma of roasted meats and stewed herbs. Shadows lengthen across the stone floors, and the heat from the large hearths begins to wane. Here, amidst the residual warmth, the task of scrubbing pots begins. Heavy cauldrons and well-used pans are lifted, their surfaces bearing the evidence of a day's labor. The cook methodically directs the assistants, each knowing their role in this familiar ritual. Water, warmed by the residual embers, is fetched and poured into basins. The gentle sound of scrubbing fills the space, a meditative rhythm that eases the transition from frenetic activity to restful order. The cleaning of each pot and pan is a task approached with care, the metallic surfaces slowly revealed beneath layers of soot and residue. This process, though repetitive, is essential, ensuring that each vessel is ready to serve anew when dawn breaks once more. As the scrubbing continues, the hearths themselves require attention. The fires that have burned so brightly throughout the day now need to be tenderly banked. The cook carefully arranges the remaining embers, ensuring that warmth is preserved yet contained. This simple act of tending the fires is a quiet reminder of the perpetual cycle of labor that defines life within the castle walls. The presence of the fire, even in its dormant state, provides a comforting constancy. Sweeping follows as the stone floors, marked by the passage of many feet, are cleared of the day's detritus. The rhythmic motion of the broom, guided by the cook's steady hand, smooths the surface, restoring a sense of order to the space. Dust and crumbs, remnants of the day's activity, are gathered and removed, leaving behind a clean slate for the coming day's work. The shelves and tables, stripped of their earlier clutter, are wiped down with care. Each surface, once laden with ingredients and tools, is now bare and ready to welcome the next day's preparations. The cook oversees this process with quiet satisfaction. knowing that each small act of tidying contributes to the overall harmony of the kitchen. It is in these moments of restoration that the cook finds a sense of balance, the day's efforts gradually giving way to a peaceful close. Attention then turns to the arrangement of tools and utensils. Knives, ladles, and other implements are gathered, cleaned, and returned to their designated places. Everything has its order, its place within the kitchen's hierarchy of function. This careful organization ensures efficiency and ease when the time comes to light the fires once more. The cook's practiced hands move with assured precision, each motion contributing to the steady rhythm of the cleanup. With the kitchen slowly returning to its ordered state, the cook takes a moment to reflect. The day has been one of toil, yet also of fulfillment. Each meal prepared, each dish served, is a testament to the cook's skill and dedication. And now, as the evening draws to a close, there is a quiet satisfaction in knowing that the cycle will begin anew with the coming dawn. The work is nearly done, yet a final check is necessary. The cook moves through the space, a watchful eye, ensuring that no detail is overlooked. Pots are inspected, surfaces touched for assurance of cleanliness. The assistants, following the cook's lead, complete their tasks with a shared sense of purpose. It is through this collective effort that the kitchen is restored, a testament to the shared labor that sustains the castle's daily life. With the final tasks completed, the cook allows a moment of stillness to settle over the kitchen. The hearth glows with a muted warmth, the last embers nestled safely beneath a layer of ash. The tools are in their rightful places, the floors swept clean, the pots and pans shining dully in the fading light. The kitchen stands ready, a space at rest yet poised for the next day's demands. As the cook steps back from the hearth, the quiet satisfaction of a day well spent lingers. The evening cleanup, though routine, is a vital part of the kitchen's life. It is in these moments of closure that the cook finds a sense of peace, the quiet reassurance that comes from knowing that everything is in its place, awaiting the dawn. And so, with the kitchen restored to its quiet order, the cook departs, leaving the space in gentle anticipation of the day to come. As the day slowly retreats into the embrace of night, the castle kitchen finds itself in a rare state of calm. The once bustling room, filled with the sounds of clattering pots and the hum of voices, now settles into a quiet solitude. The hearth, which throughout the day had been a roaring heart of activity, glows with a gentle, low flame. Its embers flicker softly, casting a warm amber hue across the stone floors and smoke-darkened beams above. The air, still carrying the scent of roasted meats and baked bread, hangs heavy with a lingering trace of wood smoke. It is a familiar presence, one that speaks of countless meals prepared and shared. The kitchen, in its quietude, becomes a space for reflection. Here, amidst the lingering warmth and fading light, the cook takes a moment to pause, to breathe, and to ponder the rhythm of the day just past. Throughout these long hours, there had been a seamless coordination of tasks, a dance of sorts, where each step and movement was dictated by necessity and routine. The cook, in concert with the kitchen staff, had navigated the demands of meals and the expectations of a household. From the early hours before dawn to the final serving in the great hall, every action was part of a larger, intricate tapestry of castle life. Now, as the day draws to a close, there is a quiet satisfaction in knowing that the work, though demanding, was completed with care and dedication. The cook understands that each meal was more than just sustenance. It was a reflection of the household status and a testament to the skills honed through years of experience. In this quiet kitchen, the cook acknowledges the subtle artistry in transforming simple ingredients into something more, a necessary act of creation repeated day after day. The glow of the hearth provides a comforting presence, a reminder of the cycles and routines that define life within these walls. The stones, warmed by the day's labor, now offer their gentle heat back to the room, creating an environment where thoughts can wander freely. Here, amidst the fading light, the cook considers the delicate balance of resources and the careful planning required to ensure that nothing is wasted. Each scrap and bone has found its purpose, contributing to the next day's meals or stock pots, embodying a resourcefulness born of necessity. As the smoke curls lazily upwards, intertwining with the shadows, the cook is reminded of the passage of time. Each day in the kitchen is a microcosm of larger cycles, of seasons shifting and supplies changing with them. The meals prepared today are a response to these rhythms, an adaptation to what is available and plentiful. The cook understands that this cycle of abundance and scarcity is a constant, quietly shaping the choices made each day. In this moment of reflection, the cook appreciates the resilience and strength demanded by the profession. The physical demands are ever present, shaping the body with each heavy cauldron lifted and every hour spent standing over the heat. There is a quiet pride in knowing that this work, though taxing, is an essential thread in the fabric of the castle's daily life. The kitchen, with its familiar scents and gentle warmth, becomes a sanctuary of sorts. It is a place where the cook can find a sense of purpose and belonging. The work done here is not just a duty, but a calling, a role that connects the cook to the broader community within the castle. Through the act of preparing meals, the cook contributes to the well-being of the household, nurturing not just the body, but the spirit as well. As the night deepens, the kitchen gradually fades into stillness. The final embers of the hearth slowly dim, leaving behind a soft glow that echoes the calm of the moment. The cook, having taken this time to reflect, prepares to leave the kitchen for the night. There is a quiet understanding that tomorrow will bring with it the same demands and routines, but also the same opportunities for creation and connection. The kitchen, though emptied of its earlier activity, remains a living space, holding within it the echoes of the day's work and the promise of another dawn. The cook steps away, leaving behind the warmth and smoke to linger in the beams above. As the door closes gently, the kitchen settles into its nighttime rest, ready to awaken with the first light of day, prepared once more to play its part in the enduring rhythm of castle life.